Hi, I'm Rain, and welcome back to another episode of Destiny Lorepedia. Today, I want to talk about a newer character that we were introduced to in the Witch Queen DLC. Lightfall, the newest Destiny DLC that is slated to release on February 28, brings us even closer to the darkness, where the DLC says itself that our end begins. As a small homage to the excitement of this release, this episode we will be covering Rhulk. So, without any delay, let's get right into it. If you like this kind of content, consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. It's absolutely free and it helps out a ton. Rhulk, the Upended. Rhulk was introduced to the Destiny universe in the Witch Queen DLC. There isn't too much that is shared about him, but there is enough information to somewhat assume about his ways and his kind. He is a very tall figure with 6 very small orange-colored eyes. And I'm sorry for the disturbing picture being shown. It's the only way for me to actually show off his 6 eyes since they're, small. But man, I wish I could be that tall. However, before we get into the present day in the Destiny universe and Rhulk's involvement, let's get into his backstory and explore where he came from and how he got his title, the Upended. Rhulk's race is called Lubre, spelt L-U, B as in boy, R-A-E. There isn't too much information regarding the specifics of Lubre, although there are multiple mentions of clans. This could possibly be a similar lore and story strategy to the Fallen, where they have houses. For example, House Salvation from the Beyond Light DLC. This could be another term for clans, in which this is what the Lubre are referring to. There are also mentions throughout the lore that they live under the Umbral Sun and the Sephiric Sun. During Rhulk's time under these two suns, his lore shares his perspectives of what he calls the regime. This regime, according to Rhulk, kills many Lubre without logical reasoning, as if the regime kills just to kill. The regime takes the belongings from those they kill, with Rhulk even mentioning in his lore that he watches his father getting carried off, not killed. Even with or without his father, Rhulk would migrate with his clan, in which they are attacked by what he calls stalkers before they reach a safe house. Throughout Rhulk's lore, he seems to be talking to someone or something. In the lore book Shattered Suns, there are points in which he answers questions being asked by a voice. This voice is being marked in the lore by specific dashes as shown on the screen. Something that catches my eye regarding this aspect is how we don't quite know what or where this voice is, neither do we know who this is in general. I mention this now because I will be coming back to this voice that Rhulk is talking to. I say this because this voice is actually a big turning point for Rhulk in his story. Towards the end of Rhulk's past, we get insight to some of the torture that this voice puts Rhulk through. This brings the idea that this voice must be some kind of entity that values the darkness and is against the Traveler. This torture is shown in the Isolated chapter of the Shattered Suns lore book, where this voice makes Rhulk relive a memory in the past. Rhulk is constantly asking the voice to stop, but the voice persists on continuing this torture while asking him why, in which Rhulk replies with the fact that he does not want to relive the memory of a mass extinction. However, the voice insists that reliving the painful memory is an opportunity in which most people would want to die for, and the chance to relive their greatest moments. After a small monologue from this voice, Rhulk ends up asking the voice of his existence, of who the voice is in regards to its identity. This voice replies, and I quote, "We are your salvation, we are your judgment, and soon we will be your witness." Remember earlier how I mentioned about the lines surrounding small sentences, and how that was the voice talking to Rhulk? Well, as it turns out, this voice is actually the witness. Wait, whoa, hold on a minute. Who is he? Let's take a small break from Rhulk and let me quickly explain who this witness is. This is a bit of a jumping thing, so try to hold on, and I'll do my very best to go slow and explain in great detail. Again, this is still about Rhulk, but since the witness is vital to Rhulk's development and existence, we need to go into a small background of what we know about the witness thus far in order to fully understand this voice that is talking to Rhulk. So hold on tight, and let's jump a bit. In short, the witness is the voice of the darkness, the one who controls the darkness and the Black Fleet, pictured on the screen. Now, I want to cover my reasoning of why this is the witness speaking to Rhulk and not some other person or thing. When the voice, or the witness, told Rhulk, "We are your salvation," this sparks a big flashback to the Shadowkeep DLC, in which the darkness is finally introduced to us. After the Beyond mission in the Shadowkeep campaign, we are given a cutscene where the Guardian is in a vision within the Black Garden. Behind the Guardian, the Black Fleet and a mirrored image of the Guardian. Here's the cutscene where we encounter this mirrored vision, and listen closely to what this mirrored Guardian has to say.
You made it. We have heard your cries for help, and soon we will answer. Who are you? Don't you recognize us? We are not your friend. We are not your enemy. We are your salvation.
As you can see, this mirrored image of the Guardian is speaking to us, the Guardian, about the fact that they are not our friend, nor our enemy, but our salvation. However, if you look closely in the cutscene, the mirrored Guardian's hands are in a specific position. Now, I'm going to show you another cutscene from the reveal of the witness after defeating Savathun in the Witch Queen DLC. Note that this cutscene is still considered a bit of a spoiler, so be wary. I ask that you pay attention to the way the witness enters and the hand placement and movements. Here is the cutscene.
We have seen enough. The children of soul cry out for salvation. You promise them life, but deliver only death, as you have for so many before. Enough. Enough death. Enough life. You have no pieces left to place. The game is over. Do not be afraid. Your pale heart holds the key. This time, there is no escape.
Compared to the hand placement of movements in the Shadowkeep cutscene and the Witch Queen DLC cutscene, this is further proof that the entity is indeed the witness. Also, during the cutscene I just showed you, the witness also mentions how, and I quote, "the children of soul cry out for salvation." This slates the fact that the voice that Rhulk is being spoken to is indeed the witness. Now, let's head back into the world and lore of Rhulk. After consulting with the voice, or the witness, Rhulk is tortured again by another vision, shown to him by the voice. This time, the vision is revealed of Rhulk mass slaughtering his entire family, his entire kind, resulting in a shattered sky. After this vision, Rhulk emerges from a miasma-like wall, grabbing his glaive as he is greeted by the witness. The witness then is asking Rhulk what he feels, in which Rhulk simply replied, "Relief." Fast forwarding to the present day in the Destiny universe, we see that in the Witch Queen DLC's gameplay trailer, towards the end, we see 6 Guardians standing by a grounded pyramid, which is a ship, also known as a part of the Black Fleet. This pyramid is actually the Pyramid of Rhulk, the Upended. The only real explanation we get as of why it sits there in Savathun's throne world is from Rhulk himself, in which he ends up explaining what it means to be the Upended, and briefly talks about his kind, while mentioning how Savathun has trapped him inside her throne world, betraying him.
The Upended. A title suitable for that which turns worlds upside down. When I was still uninitiated, I would stand guard at my post. I would look to the sky and see the two suns of my Lubre. One eternally shaded in the dark, the other always a brilliant blue. And in them, I had seen the folly of our kind. A fear of something we believed bigger than us, and a reliance on that which kept us. That blue sun that we harnessed our power from. A simple reversal of that power cracked the blue in half, shut it off, and Lubre died. I did not know it at the time, but it was necessary. And now that Savathun has trapped me within these walls, it will be necessary again. My witness. Whether I survive Savathun's betrayal or not, the Upended will ensure we salvage our perfect goal. The final abyss awaits us all.
Give me. Defeating Rhulk now means there's no other trace or existence of Lubre. Therefore, the Lubre are now officially extinct. Thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel, as it helps out a ton. Let me know what other stories or lore you would like me to cover in the Destiny universe. See you in the next one! Also, sorry if I have stuttered, I'm kind of getting over a cold.